Hello there, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to take a quick tour of the inside of my trailer and show you some of the upgrades that I've done to it over the years. This is my big 8.5 by 20 cargo trailer. Overhead cabinets there, but a few years ago I pulled down all of the ceiling panels and installed a bunch of new wiring so that I could provide power to some more light fixtures. Originally I only had a light right there and another light right there, and then somewhere down the center of the trailer I had two more light fixtures. What I have done here is added 3 different style of light fixtures, primarily to use this trailer as a mobile showroom, and I had some tables set up along each wall. Down each side of the trailer there's little recessed puck lights right there. I've got 6 of those down each side. The rear 5 on each side are on one switch, and then the front 2, actually there's 3 in the front, one right in the center. Those 3 in the front are on their own switch. Then I also added some more round lights here. There's 5 of those, 1 in front of the air conditioner and 4 behind the air conditioner. Another style of light I added is big flat panel LED lights. Those lights have their own switch, but they're also controlled by a switch on the wall. That way, if I only want several of those on, I can turn on the main switch on the wall and then switch on those individually. The big switch on the left is for the outside floodlight. This switch here is for the inside lights, the 120 volt lights, and then all of my DC lighting is controlled by these switches. So these control the small recessed puck lights, and then these control the lights down the center. These control the panel lights, and then these control the center round lights. So let's go ahead and turn some of those on and see how they look. I'll first turn off my main lights, and then I'll turn on the lights along the side of the trailer here. Those worked really good to light up product that I had on display on the tables, and then also I had some grid wall hanging from some brackets on the side of the trailer, so it lit up that product really well. And then if I turn on the panel lights, those are essentially like a cool white fluorescent light, but they're all LED. Those work good when I'm using this camping and want to do some work in here on my motorcycle. And then generally I just use these lights. That's just general area lighting. That's more of a warm white color. And then these 3 across the front, they are on their own little switch here. And I also have 1 fluorescent light which has been converted to LED under the front overhead cabinets. This closed off area covers the spring tensioner for the ramp door, and then those 2 round units right there, those are big speakers for my stereo. And I have the stereo mounted up front here. I found this nice under cabinet style stereo enclosure on Crutchfield.com. All the wires come out of the back. And that little square remote panel, that's a remote panel for my inverter charger. I added some E-track across the wall. In one of my videos I had a wire rack here in this area, and I used this E-track and these hooks here, as well as this ratchet strap tie down to hold that rack in place. The trailer originally had some L-track that went all the way from the front of the trailer to the back, and this is exactly where it was, right in that little open space in that interlocking foam floor padding. I didn't need it in the front, so I took it out and then repurposed it to some areas in the back of the trailer, but you can also see where it was right along here. So I cut some of it into 2 pieces and installed some of it right there at the very back, And there's another piece right here. So I've done that on both sides. Originally, when I used to haul my motorcycles, I'd run them in here backwards and then push the front tire up against the ramp door. And then that's what I used to tie down the front of the motorcycle there. And then right here. And then about 2 years ago, when I was doing a bunch of other upgrades, I finally decided to get with the program and make it easier to load the bikes, and installed some more of the L-track along each fender well. And then up here is 2 little mounting feet for my Pingle wheel chocks. I'll put a link in the description below on showing how I installed those in a different trailer. That little black button right there. There's another one hidden up here under the foam tile. There's 2 of those on each side towards the front, and there's 2 of those on each side towards the rear. There's one, and then there's another one. Those are meant to hold down my Polaris Ranger. So I have wheel net tie downs for the Ranger that I use. There's actually a little clip with a ring in it that attaches to that foot. Originally there was just a standard roof vent with no fan, and a few years back I repurposed this fan that came out of my truck camper. This is a fantastic fan, so it works really good for providing ventilation. The front speakers in my trailer are some big 6x9 200 watt 4-ways and some little speaker enclosure boxes. The trailer also does have 120 volt AC electrical service. This is a little 30 amp panel. It provides power to, there's 2 outlets across the front. There's also, of course, all of the lighting that I mentioned earlier. And this outlet right here, I took that out and then routed another piece of wire down here and installed another outlet. So that wire just goes down the wall. I just cut a hole in the wall, and that provides power to the charging side of my inverter charger. And then on the back side of the passenger side trailer, we have another outlet. Only thing it doesn't have is an outlet on the outside. That is one thing that I wish that it did have. Also got an air conditioner. This air conditioner was repurposed out of my truck camper. I took the old air conditioner out of this trailer and sold it on Craigslist, and then put this one in here from my truck camper when I upgraded the AC unit in my truck camper to a heat pump. If I were to upgrade this again, I would probably do a heat pump. Another upgrade I did was added some 12 volt and USB charging ports. That's a 12 volt right there. And this is a USB. I've got another set over on the other side at the very front, just like these. That little switch there is the master cutoff switch for the stereo. This little emergency breakaway coiled tether, that's a must-have on any trailer. The original breakaway cable, it's about 2 feet too long, and that's just the way those things are. They always get tangled up and drag the ground and break the cable in half if you don't secure them anyway. So this is definitely a must-have. I upgrade all of my trailers to that. It's sold by a company called Fastway. Two years ago, I replaced the tires and I put Goodyear ST225/75/15 Endurance. They are a load range E, and they were rated at 80 PSI. The wheels and tires are kind of dusty because I didn't wash the trailer the last time I used it, and I went up and down a gravel road about 3 or 4 miles long. Lots of clearance up here between the fender and the tire. And the reason for that is because if you look close in there, 2 years ago I added a Dexter axle lift kit. It's a spacer kit for torsion axles. So basically it drops the axle down away from the frame. Another thing that I did not long after I bought the trailer was I added a large awning